Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Um, Today I'm here to present one of the IPR issues in cloud computing, that is divided infringement or joint infringement. Right? Before we get into the nitty-gritties of divided infringement and what are the issues there, how to overcome it, I just want to present one slide on cloud computing per my understanding the definition of cloud computing. Okay, the outline looks something like this. What is cloud computing? What is joint infringement? Can you hear me? Talk loudly? Okay. What is joint infringement and what should be the claim strategy? How should we be claiming? What is a cloud? Even now, when we use systems, there is a lot of hardware and software resources on our systems, like laptops. How about transferring all of them into a cloud, and the system that we use will be more like a user interface to access those hardware resources and software services or software which is sitting in the cloud. The hardware and software is offered as a service that frees up a lot of resources for organizations. So there would be companies, there would be organizations which would focus completely on cloud, and there would be organizations focusing completely outside the cloud, which is their core area. That's what is represented there. There is a client system, and the client system may reduce to just a user interface in this particular case. And you can like what you can access emails, you can access the hardware resources, but you really do not know where the hardware resources are sitting inside the cloud. So software can be accessed as a service, platforms can be accessed as service, they can be offered as services. Okay, so at a very low level or at a very broad level, this is how a cloud representation could be. What are the issues? What are some of the major issues when it comes to cloud computing? Data security is a major issue. Data privacy is a major issue. Those issues are very well talked about, and it is all very well known, right? But when it comes to getting a patent which has an invention which includes a cloud, is not very well known and not very much talked about. So I chose the topic of divided infringement, wherein we have more than one device which is participating in the invention. And let us see how the claims can be drafted for such invention to overcome the joint infringement thing. Okay. To understand what is joint infringement, I would like to give you a brief background of a direct infringement. If I look at the claim, an infringing device would be infringing my claim only if it practices all the elements of the claim. And there should be one single entity which should practice all the elements of the claim, right? But if you look at the scenarios now, if you look at the technology, improvement in the technology, parts of the invention could be in different devices. So in that scenario, how do we see that the claims are so very drafted that the infringement is focused on only one device to overcome the joint infringement thing. Okay, joint infringement issues tend to arise where the invention involves a multi-party transaction. The accused infringer uses a third-party service that performs a portion, such as a web service, and/or the claims that are poorly drafted. Here, I would be focusing more on the claims drafting rather than the other. Okay, when can we say that there is a joint infringement? Or when can we go and say, okay, this is joint infringement and not direct infringement? One must direct, that is, one party should direct or control the actions of the other entity in practicing the relevant elements of the claim. Okay, that is a very, very narrow exception for joint infringement. So for joint infringement, there should be an agency relationship between the two parties, and one party is contractually obligated to the other party, obligated to the other to perform the steps. It's like vicarious liability. Okay, all these things, whatever I spoke till now, are kind of theory. To really understand what all these things would mean, I would want to present it with an example. Let's say this is the problem that we are facing today. Let us say my cell phone is in silent mode and I misplaced it. This is a very common scenario, right? And if you call your cell phone, you'll not be able to trace it because it is in silent mode, right? So let us say somebody came up with an invention. The invention is a user may use a client device, right? I have this laptop, for example, and I can send an email, and when I send this email to a server, the server would talk to the cell phone and change the profile of the cell phone, right? So that the cell phone comes out from the silent mode to a regular mode, right? That is the invention. This is continuation of the invention. So here, a user using a client device such as a laptop computer may provide the identifier an email and send an email to the server. Okay, this is the client device. This is one device that we have. The second device is the email server. It could be sitting on the cloud, receives the identifier, maps the identifier to a cell phone number, generates a control signal, and sends the control signal to the cell phone. So this portion of the invention is happening in the cloud. And the next portion could be happening in the cell phone itself. Cell phone receives the control signal from the email server, which is sitting in the cloud, modifies the profile based on the control signal, and the cell phone comes out of the silent mode to a regular mode. This is the invention, okay? I have specific numbers attached to each of the steps in the claim. Of course, we will be using that in the next diagram that we have. So in this example scenario, action or the steps A and B are performed in a client device, whereas C, D, E, and F are performed in a cloud, and G, H, I are performed in a cell phone. So if I write a claim for this, it may look like this, right? Without thinking about joint infringement, my claim may look like this: a method comprising providing an identifier, which happens in the client, sending the identifier, which also happens in the client device, receiving the identifier, which happens in the cloud, mapping the identifier to a cell phone number happens in the cloud, generating a control signal happens in the cloud, and sending the control signal to the cell phone happens in the cloud. Receives the control signal happens in cell phone, modifies the profile, it happens in the cell phone, and the cell phone is brought out of silent mode. That also happens in the cell phone. If I write a claim like this, right, I don't have one device which is infringing my claim, right? There isn't a single entity that is infringing my claim, because we have three actors here. One is the client, one is the cloud, and another is the cell phone. So how do I draft claims when it comes to a scenario like this? And these scenarios are real, and these scenarios are which we deal with every day, right? Intuitively, for the method claim to be a candidate for direct infringement, all the steps in the example claim need to be performed by a single entity. No direct infringement if client, cloud, and the cell phone performs the steps A, B, C, F, and G, I respectively. So what does the law say about it? The Patent Act said, okay, except as otherwise provided in this title, whoever without authority makes, uses, offers to sell, or sells any patented invention within the United States, or import into United States any patented invention during the term of the patent, therefore infringes the patent. But this was construed to be or interpreted by the Federal Circuit to require a showing that a single party does all this, right? So to prove that there is an infringement, the claim needs to be focused on each and every device. So use requires single infringer to physically perform each step. So I talked about the agency relationship, which is an exception, so I'll skip that, and let us move on to draft a particular claim and see what it would look like. Okay. Example one. Let's say a computer implemented method comprising entering a search query into a search interface, which is a client device, and executing the search query on a server system, which is a cloud. If I put both the steps into one method claim, we have two actors playing here. So we cannot prove divided infringement here. Instead, my suggestion would be a computer implemented method comprising receiving a search query from a search interface. So the cloud is receiving the search query and it is executing the search query on a server system. So now we are focusing only on the server system which is sitting in the cloud. Another example, a method of treating a patient comprising assembling an implantable device configured to pace the heart and apply a defibrillation pulse and implanting the device in the patient. Here, once again, we are talking about two things, right? So instead, you may consider a method of treating a patient comprising implanting an implantable device configured to pace the heart and apply a defibrillation pulse in the patient. That would focus on one actor. That's it. Thank you.